Hey now. I probably should have changed the stream title and notification since yesterday, but oh well. Since last stream, that is. We're doing much more of the same today. I was taking my sweet time to get a run complete, and after about 2.5 hours, we finally got there. The final run came in at 30 minutes and change, but the previous world record for PlayStation, any percent, not superhuman, none of these challenges, but any percent for PlayStation. The last record was 30 minutes and a little bit more change. So we did achieve a world record, which I haven't yet posted to SRC. And while I am a fan of for historical reasons, uploading every world record, there are a few things with the last session that annoyed me a little bit. For one thing, the controller is far too bright. So, I didn't know there was a LED button. I've got that disabled now. I've also added the gamepad viewer. That'll make my life a lot easier when adding the inputs in post. But I've made the intro, or about 2 minutes of the intro. I was contemplating whether to show where the previous runs failed, and or alternatively just doing the cliched SpongeBob 3 hours later and just skipping straight to the run, but then I'd have to explain somehow why I already had 7 achievements, and so yeah, I came to the conclusion that it was just going to be a bit too difficult to put it all together, and there is an easier way, which I am about to do now. 17 achievements, goodbye. Oh, that's interesting. I thought it would have updated on this as well. Maybe I just have to restart DocStation. No, it still says 17. And it counts my time played as well. Interesting. Okay. Well, in either case, the achievements have been reset, as in the bottom left corner. So hopefully we get the run in one go. I have been practicing it a little bit, and then we won't have to deal with those problems. Yos area. No, you're the dude. It's good to see you, bro. Yes, we're doing more of the same, but I practiced a little bit more. I also refined the end of the first... Well, I refined all of the battlescapes, all 3 of them. So the first battlescape, I had problems with Werner Faber going to the top floor and somehow losing time units for reasons I couldn't explain. And it was really tight. Like, he needed every last time unit, and when he burns 4 for no reason... Yeah. So I redid that. It should take roughly the same amount of time, but basically guarantee that unless I input the sequence wrong, that it won't mess that up. Also, I optimized Sidonia 1 very slightly so that Yeah, it just saves a few, maybe a second or two, but it saves movement. It's a bit more optimized. And this way it should, as far as I'm aware. Oops. I mean, it just looks cleaner is the main thing. And then Sidonia 2, I discovered somehow. I mean, not how I discovered it was somehow, but for some reason, bringing the third soldier to Sidonia 1, Nick Jones specifically, even though he does literally nothing in the mission, he just stands on the Avenger and actually wastes some time because you have to toggle through him. For some reason, bringing him seemed to be the determining factor as to whether or not the AI changed for Sidonia 2. I don't know why that's the case, but yeah. It means I have to bring him. Or find a new manip. But at least I figured that out. So if I were to get the run and try to skip equipping one soldier to save half a second and then lose the run at the last moment, it would have been kind of heartbreaking. But yeah, so I've got a better understanding of how the battlescape works, been practicing the geoscape. Here's hoping we can do it in one go. Now, it is 5:54 in the AM in Melbourne, Australia. So I would like to get this done as soon as possible. At the very least, so I can get back to editing and upload my findings, just because I think it's kind of cool. And actually, can I show? It's not on this computer. I can't do it. Nah, I guess I'll leave it as a surprise. I basically made the thumbnail for the video I intend to upload. Or rather, one of the assets for the video which I intend to use as the thumbnail. And when you put it in context of like what this challenge actually is, it's going to be one of those videos that hopefully people stumble across on YouTube and is like, I don't believe it. Like, what hacks are you implementing to be able to do this? Because the challenge just sounds unbelievably impossible. And realistically it is, unless you're cheesing the game the way that we're about to. But that's about it. We're about to hit the 10-minute mark, so we'll kick it off in a moment. Achievements have been reset. Thank you for the good luck. Say, I will... Well, I don't need any luck. There's no luck in this run. It's entirely execution. But good luck to the execution, yes? One thing I do want to check, though, is the global settings for... Yep, global hotkeys. Okay. And tilde to start the splits. Okay. I've got to admit, I'm a little bit nervous, but hey, we've done this before. We can do it again. Let's go. Well, it is entirely execution. There are a few timed events on the geoscape specifically, but the battlescape is entirely just input the keys. Also, I hope my controller is set up properly. Yeah, that looks right. Okay. Let's go. Okay, we'll line that up. And the east coast of Hawaii, I'm gonna do RA for the speedruns. And fast forward. Also, where are my notes? There we go. center, and 2 incept cancels to advance the RNG a predetermined amount. And then the next UFO 2, Jan 10, small ground northwest 0. If the orientation of the UFO is different, it means that you've built the base in the wrong place in Hawaii. Yo, phoned, how you doing? Yes, 1 more UFO, and nothing else until February the 1st. Let's move the cursor down to intercept cancel. Prepare for the intercept cancel. Negative 161 for this next monthly report. Excellent. 1 intercept cancel, and fast forward. So the January Terror was delayed until Feb 4th at 9:42 AM. I'm going to center on it. So the viewport for both the geoscape and the battlescape are a determining factor of the RNG. So we center on some UFOs and some aliens in order to get exactly what we want. So next, Terror in Shanghai, Feb 23, 9:47 AM. We're going to do 3 intercept cancels once we center on Shanghai. And fast forward. Nothing for the rest of the month, negative 2030, and then 2 intercept cancels. 1, 2. We can do that after, because the music changes now. So this is the timed event, the first timed event. Have to build all of our facilities. We can take our sweet time though, because we've got to wait for a certain music prompt before we continue, otherwise it messes things up. We also need to buy all of our armament for the rest of the game. 1 of those and 1 of those. Lovely. Nothing else to do. Fast forward. Let the items arrive. And then we center on the next 2 UFOs and fast forward. And then the facilities will complete. But yes, the sound cue we're waiting for, there's like a drum roll that you'll hear shortly, followed by 5 what I call ding-dongs. And after the 5th ding-dong, the music will change when we return back to the geoscape. So the drum roll's about to happen shortly. Hey, we got our first achievement. So drum roll, ding dong. Okay, so that's the first one. Made it with plenty of time to go. Enter the base, equip the craft. I think that's right. That's the 3rd ding dong. Oops, we need 1 more rifle. Take those off. Put that on. And the 5th ding dong is there, so now we return, and the 3rd UFO will be the battleship. 1, 2, and 3. Lovely. Fast forward, and let's go. So the battleship is entirely execution. There's no timed events. You can take your sweet time doing it. You'll notice I have the explanation of the inputs next to it to make it easier to understand what exactly is going on, just in case you lose your place, or if you accidentally double press a D-pad direction, which happens sometimes, especially. Yeah, the game was not ported super well. But anyways, we need to equip all of our stuff. That's about it. And let's go. Oops, that should still be fine. What is the input here? Down X, left up X. Oops, I messed something up there. That's fine, as long as you get it done. There's quite some leeway. Next, Ludmilla. So we move the viewport in a very specific way, which will be easily demonstrated, or best demonstrated, with Nick Jones's upcoming maneuver. So with the trigger scroll, we move the viewport down 2, and now the snapshot is a kill shot every single time. We rotate right, another kill shot, another down 2 with the viewport. It's not always down 2, but in this case it is. Who's next? Frank, you're up. There's someone else on the roof. We move left 3 with the viewport this time. Okay, get out of the way. I actually did mess that up. I'm supposed to manually select that, but I believe he's supposed to move here. He should have 8 TUs left. Okay, we should still be fine. Okay, well, we're locking onto the alien, so I think that's fine. That looks wrong. Masaharu, where are you supposed to be? I think this is gonna go bad. No, maybe we're not so bad. Okay, this is not the actual... Yeah, I'm kind of freestyling this a little bit, because I know where they're supposed to stand, but there are better ways to do these inputs. Hey, we've got 7 kills. And last but not least, Werner, you have an important job. 1, 2, 3, and 2 across. You're going to execute my favourite shot in the run. So, once again, the PlayStation port, I mean, yeah, the DOS port was not fantastically coded either. Certainly fixed in OpenXCOM, but this shot should not be a thing, but it is. Next, Igor comes around the corner, shoots the floater in the window. Now we need a rocket. No, just move Ludmilla first into position. And now a rocket. Or a heavy cannon rather. Take out the other Reaper. There's 2 Reapers to go. And Isao will take care of both of them very shortly. Okay. Next, let's move Nick Jones and Virgil Gallagher up. Into their positions, and that's it for turn 2. So far so good. What's next? We just get a bit closer after killing these Reapers. We don't actually storm this turn, but we do get 2 kills with the heavy cannon to take out the final 2 Reapers. Need to move the viewport over to make sure that we can thread that needle. I'm also going to move him across to get his final shot for this mission. Yes, Ludmilla has to kill someone as well. This is the last guy outside the UFO. Next, we equip our stun rod. Oops. And prepare to storm the UFO. Oops, that could have messed it up. We'll find out soon. I moved across 1 too many tiles. We'll see someone inside the UFO. That's fine. So yeah, Virgil should be one more tile north. And the stun rod does... Yeah, we might be okay, but need to rely on some luck now. Okay, move upstairs. You're going to get 2 kills. Get out of the way. Okay, here goes nothing. Come on, Virgil. Please stun. Okay, we should still be fine in that case, since he needs to just go upstairs anyway. Werner, this is the slight change that we've done now. He goes straight up. Now this shot is much easier than it was in my first iteration of the manip. And an aim shot. Okay. We're back in sync. What was my manip for this? Virgil. Let's have 3 west. Okay, I have to go around. What? Maybe his energy makes a difference. Okay, well, I'm going to shoot again. We're going a little off script now. There is a leader with a blaster launcher. So this could end poorly, but we'll find out soon. I'm going to get a kill... Oh, come on this leader who's hiding in this closet. I'll take an auto shot just to be safe. He got stunned, which might be a problem. I think that's the commander. Yeah, he's dropped his gun already. And if this kills, we're fine. I need this to kill. Otherwise we have too many living dudes. Okay. We went off script a little bit there. Hey, Durmaster, how you doing? It's kind of scripted, but but I messed it up a number of times. So, yeah, we're back in sync now. But yes, there's no luck in this run now. It's all predetermined. All of the challenges completed. The first thing we do is buy and sell. We sell the 2 Inceptors. This is a timed event, once again. There's 3 timed events on the post-battleship geoscape. 78 and 44. And then we start our research. So we're going to manip the research to be what we want it to. You'll notice my hand's doing some funny things. I need 5 of these. So if you hold start while you start a topic, it actually gets a different value. So some of them I know I need to do. Nope, not that. Floater commander and navigator. Navigation, rather. Okay, that was the drum roll and a couple of ding-dongs. But as long... We have to wait until the 5th ding-dong, so we can take our time here. Yeah, this one is a different beast. I'll say that. That's the 4th ding-dong. 1 more and then we can continue with the run. because now the music will change. If we left earlier, the music would not change, and that would cause problems. And so another timed event begins. We have to do a lot of the next stuff before the music changes. And it's just a lot of assigning scientists. 80 minimum for UFO navigation. Some you can go overboard with, but alloys in particular I need exactly 76, because I'm putting 12 on the soldier so that we get that done in one day. So you'll notice that it is about to be the 8th of April, but because there are 87 scientist hours remaining on this, because of the research rollover bug, it gets completed immediately. And now we manipulate some more stuff. I need laser weapons, and motion scanners, and a medikit to buffer for the correct values for alien origins with the start manip. And again, start manip for UFO construction. We need 84 minimum. And then new fighter crafts. Some more buffers. 4 of them, and then new fighter craft. Oops. Need 82 minimum. What's next? New fighter transporter. We need 86 with the start manip. No buffers required. So the sound cue we need to beat this time, it's quite tight. But if the music changes, it's bad news for the run. Yes, I need to hold start for this. And 80, exactly. We can do more, it's fine, but 80 is enough, won't change anything. So once the Avenger research is complete, we research at the same time alien origins. Need exactly 42. And for the leader, exactly 33. Then we build the Avenger. Don't need to build it for free since money doesn't matter anymore. This is the only thing we're building. Then both researchers will complete at the same time. Oh dear, that's actually a problem. I was supposed to do something. The music might change now. 27 for the leader, commander rather. If the music changes, we're in trouble. It'll be loud and obnoxious. I'm not sure. One more. Sidonia or bust. Well, 23. Okay, looks like we do still have the manip. I do need to do one intercept cancel. And what's happening next? Do I center on it? Next I center on the terror sites. Oh, the Avenger first. So I need to equip the Avenger. Yeah, the music should not be changing there, so I think we've messed up, but we'll see how we go. I think we're going to get the wrong Sidonia. Yeah, it should be in Rome. That's not good. Yeah. I think we're getting the wrong Sidonia. But if we don't, this will be a huge world record. So Virgil will be automatically equipped with the rocket launcher, and he's the only one coming along. Gonna do a very stealthy final mission. Because of the restrictions, we don't have blaster launchers, although any percent would be about 3 minutes faster if we did research it. Maybe 2 minutes, but... Hey, Juddlers, how you doing? We're at that point. We're about to enter Sidonia, Jaddlers. So it is either... Yeah, this is not the right map. So unless we can somehow sneak into... Where's the pyramid? Oh dear. There's no way we're making that. What do you see? Ah dear. Okay. We need... a human shield. Now Virgil does have 95 psi strength, so he'll be fine for psionics. Really, he can't move there. Thought that would be 6 TUs. Goodbye, Virgil. Well, Nick Jones does also have 63 TUs, but I don't think... Yeah. I don't think he'll survive the psionics. And Ludmilla's about to panic as well. It's all going pear-shaped. Bye-bye, run. Okay. Well, it was a good attempt. What did I actually mess up there? Oh, yeah, so I forgot to press start to check research complete on Alien Origins. Yeah, it was a good run until it wasn't. So the music changing is an RNG call in this version of the game. So because we have one long sequence of doing all of our research after... What do my notes say? Post-battleship... Ah, yeah, so after literally the first group of, like, manipulating the UFO components and the interrogations, we have to wait for the music prompt. And the next one, we have to do the entire segment from then until Alien Origins complete, which is while the Avengers being built. So all of the research, basically, except for Commander and Sidonia or Bust. And at that point, because the music's about to change, we have to force it to change early so that it changes at a specific time. Otherwise, you get what happens here, which is the music changes sometime in late April, which is a lot more difficult to manipulate rather than intentionally entering a menu and changing it. But that's okay. Let's reset those achievements again. I might have to close Duck Station for that. I also have to refresh. Hey, Sajki, pardon me. Welcome back. Let's reset the game progress. The ticker should update momentarily. I'm wondering why it's not, to be honest. Thank you for the good luck, Sajki. Why isn't that updating? There we go. Okay. Let's open Duck Station again. We made quite a few errors in that run, even though we got all the way to Sidonia. But, yeah, let's do it again from the top. I need to reset my clock as well. Didn't save that. Good. Okay. Very nice. Let's do one of these. Okay. From the top. Let's do it first try. The goal for today is to improve the any percent world record. Accidentally. We're just doing the challenge a little cleaner with the input viewer and with all the achievements in one run rather than split between 3 runs from our last session. Just so I have something clean to upload. Let's do it again. Need the east coast of Hawaii. There we go. Okay, what's up first? UFO 1, Jan 6, 8 AM, center and inset cancel. 2 inset cancels, excuse me. So entering the inset menu and cancelling out advances the RNG a specific amount. So does the viewport for both the Geoscape and the Battlescape, so you'll see me sometimes centering on the UFO. So what we've done so far is manipulated the January Terror to delay into February. We'll now be on February the 4th in Novosibirsk. The monthly report, we negative 161. We do 1 intercept cancel and fast forward again. So we're going to center on both terror sites this month. The second one we're going to do 3 incept cancels, and this will both, I mean, it doesn't specifically delay the March Terror, that'll be next month's manipulations, but more importantly, it does manipulate a floater base to be built in Hawaii. 1, 2, and 3. Negative 2030 for the next monthly report. We need 2 incept cancels. I'm going to do this first. We are on the clock. We have to beat a certain audio prompt. We also can't be too quick. So there'll be a drum roll. Also need to purchase our armament for the remainder of the game. All our rockets and all our stun rods. Nice. So yes, we'll hear like a drum roll kind of sound, followed by a ding dong, as I call it. We have to beat the 5th ding dong, and we can't return to the Geoscape before that 5th ding dong as well. Oh, I don't think I incept cancelled, did I? This might have already... Huh. Well, I'm gonna reset this because I'm pretty sure I forgot to incept cancel. But also because if I continue to the 19th of March... Oops. If I continue to the 19th of March, then I would have completed alien containment. And would have to reset my achievements again. So let's just reset it now so we can get all 17 in one go. I hope you're appreciating the commentary because you're about to hear it again. Okay, from the top. Superhuman, base in Hawaii, our only base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oh dear. Oh, I didn't fast forward. That's annoying. Damn you, bot. I'm just going to reset. I didn't start my timer either. Terrible. Okay, let's just do that again. Well, that was a waste of time. Alrighties. So, Superhuman, one base in Hawaii only, no, or mandatory research only. Oops, let's start the timer this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to this fictional island. I'll know if I built the base in the right place, because the first UFO should be small ground heading south at 0. And the second one should be Jan 10 UFO 2, small ground northwest 0. If the orientation is different, it means the base is built in the wrong spot on Hawaii, but it looks like it's right. Ground north 0 on Jan 15. Excellent. So that manipulates the January Terror to be delayed into February. So it also means we get a negative 161 monthly report for January, which is fine, because it needs to be above negative 500 for 2 months in a row. 1 incept cancel. So the incept cancels, as well as the position of the viewport for both the geoscape and the battlescape affects the RNG. So I'll sometimes center on UFOs and terror missions. Hey Omega Runs, thank you for good luck and have fun. Yes, we're back to the madness. We need 3 incept cancels here after centering on Shanghai. And now negative 2030, and we build our facilities at the beginning of March. So we're on the clock. Once we enter a sub-menu, the music changes. We have to beat a particular music cue. You can do the intercept cancels before this to give you a few extra seconds, but I feel comfortable doing it this way to save a second or two. We also can't be too fast, so probably going to wait to return to the geoscape and force the music to change at a specific time, because music calls are also an RNG call. Music changes are an RNG call. Got one more UFO, March 15, UFO 5, small very low east 360. Once again, center and fast forward. Then the two facilities, living quarters and alien containment. So the audio cue we're waiting for, there's a drum roll that's about to start in a moment, followed by 5 ding-dongs. That's the first ding-dong. And as long as you get into this sub-menu before the 5th one, you're fine. You also can't return to the geoscape too early. So that's the 3rd one. The 4th one. So we have to wait here for the 5th one and then return. We'll get 3 UFOs. The 3rd one will be the battleship landing in Hawaii. 1, 2, and here we go. Thankfully, the battlescape is entirely execution based. If you input everything at the right time, as in the right order, there is no timed sequence for any of the battlescapes in this run. The post-battleship, however, does have 3, maybe even 4 timed events. So you'll need to practice that with save states before you'll be good enough to do this. But at least this is easier than it looks. So we equip the stun rod to Virgil's backpack, aimed shots. Down, X, left, up. No, didn't work again. That's fine. As long as you turn on trigger scroll and put the speed up, that's the important part. So the viewport, when you center on an alien, is always the same. Gonna move Ludmilla into the position that she needs to be. And then Nick Jones gets 2 kills. So you'll see that I move the viewport with the trigger scroll down 2 to get this kill with the snapshot. And then I'll turn right and down 2 again with the viewport to get another kill shot. That's fine. Next, Frank. There's one more guy on the roof. Move left 3 this time with the viewport. This time I'm going to manually select in order to keep the viewport in a particular place. I need to move to the right one if I'm not mistaken. Igor, where are you at? Yep, right one, up 9. Masaharu, up 2, left 1, without any funny business. 1, 2, 3. Why didn't that work? That should have worked. Did I double tap? That happened yesterday, the other day as well, once. I don't know why that shot specifically sometimes misses. Like 20% of the time. I mean, it's only 7 minutes into the run, but it's a little annoying. I know what it is. So when I tried to, let's Let's stop the timer. When I tried to find an extended manipulation years and years ago, back in 2019, especially when I worked on the TAS, I found that moving the viewport with the auto scroll, by the edge scroll, changed the RNG. It still kind of happens in this. I think the cursor is like not actually centered on the tile, so if you press it up against the edge, funny things happen. So I think what happened was when I moved to this square, there's no real easy way for me to do this, but yeah, when I moved up, I went against the wall, and yeah, that shouldn't be happening. So I think I just need to move left before I move up with Masaharu, and that shouldn't happen again. In every other case, you can do either up, down, left, right. If you have to do two of them, you can do it in any order, but that's one of the very specific ones. I think you have to do left before up. Anyways, that's fine. Let's try it again from the top. I also need to... Hey, user miss, how you doing? It's a little cursed, I will admit that. I'm going to reset my achievements, because I want to do it all in one go. Let's start Duck Station again. Okay, from the top. Yes, while this may be a cursed run, you missed the world record way back when. Which world record exactly? The PlayStation world record? No, screen's not frozen. I don't believe so. Working on OBS for me. Not dropping any frames. Oh, regular any percent. That was a wild one. Thanks, Say. Yeah, not frozen. Maybe just refresh your browser if there's a problem. So when I got the any percent Open XCOM record, I wasn't grinding for the record. I was just playing. And just happened to get the run. I did upload the VOD, so it is somewhere on YouTube. Okay, 2 Incept cancels after centering on UFO 1. The viewport for both the Geoscape and the Battlescape influences RNG very heavily. This one we do not center, neither do we do that with UFO 3, and that will manipulate the January Terror to be delayed into February the 4th at 9:42 AM. Monthly report will be negative 161 when we do 1 intercept cancel and continue fast forwarding. Novosibirsk, center, fast forward. Then February 23, 9:47 AM, Terror in Shanghai. 3 intercept cancels. We can move there already in preparation. I'm going to center on it. 3 intercept cancels, fast forward, and then negative 2030 for the month. But as long as we pass March, which, give you the hot tip, we're passing March, we'll be fine. 2 intercept cancels. Actually, I'll build the base first, the facilities. This is a timed event. The music will change. We have to beat a specific music prompt, since audio track changes are an RNG call as well. can save a few seconds by doing the incept cancels before all of this. Okay, we're going to buy all the stuff we need for the run. There we go. 2 incept cancels. And fast forward. So we have to enter the equip screen, equip Sky Ranger screen, before a certain music prompt, and we have to return to the geoscape after that same prompt. There is a drum roll in this audio track, or at least I call it a drum roll, some percussive thing, followed by what I call a ding dong. You'll know it when you hear it. The 5th ding dong is ding dong. See? The 5th one is the audio cue that we're waiting for. So we get in before the 3rd one, so we have plenty of time. Equip the Sky Ranger. We're going to take 1 extra rifle, take off the HCAP ammo, take the stun rod, and we have to wait on this screen until the 5th ding dong before we get our battleship. Now the music changes. And here comes a battleship. Excellent. Alrighties, let's move to the battleship manip sheet. So, in order to move the viewport in a normalized fashion, after our first aim shot with Virgil Gallagher, we're going to change the game options and turn on trigger scroll. You'll see with Nick Jones the reason why we do that. So let's first get the shot off. Whoa, that's not right. There we go. Okay, that's the first 2 kills. We'll get 7 kills in total. We'll put Lyudmila in a better position to take out one of the dudes inside the house on a later turn. Nick Jones now. So we lock on to the enemy and then move the viewport down 2. That makes the snapshot a kill shot every single time. Now, even though this snapshot is also viewport down 2, it's not always the same. Just coincidence for these two. So next up is Frank Pierce. There's one more guy on the roof. Gonna viewport left 3 times. Oops, seems like I may have been disconnected from chat, so excuse me if I didn't respond to someone. I also was supposed to manually select Igor there. Okay. Chat isn't frozen for you? Okay, thank you for the feedback. I appreciate that. This is not the way the manip should be working, but it'll do the job. He was on the wrong tile, but that kill still worked. That's a pleasant surprise. And finally, if we can get to him, why is he not moving there? Okay, whatever. Shouldn't make a difference since it's the end of the turn anyway. Hatswitch browser had trouble with logging in, so you remained a lurker and still in awe of the amount of path in this. Total ops of the regular 80%. Yeah, I really like, even prior to finding this manip, I really like the PlayStation version for exactly this reason. The manip that I discovered for beginner to get... where is he? Yeah, something messed up there. That shot should have gone through. He's usually standing down here. Oh, because... yeah. So, this guy's standing on the wrong tile. Maybe he's not. Doesn't matter. Let's do it again from the top. So yeah, you have to manually select one of the soldiers, and I keep messing that up because I'm so used to just pressing select to advance to the next one. If you do lose synchronization... yeah, if you lose synchronization, it's very difficult to realign. It's not impossible, but... yeah. But, yeah, this manipulation, it changes the nature of the speedrun entirely. There is literally zero RNG if done correctly. Okay. There we go. Let's open that back up again. Yeah, so the old beginner manip was you build your base on the South Pole. You do, was it 1 or 2 incept cancels, and just wait until the first medium UFO, and then you take a pistol because the rifles are inaccurate, and you kill all the enemies. I mean, there's only 3 of them, but you kill all of them on the first turn, the first 2 turns. So the first split for the old beginner manip was, yeah, the first split was like always like plus or minus 1 second. It was extremely consistent. Okay, from the top, let's do it again. Why? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got confused because my cursor is still on the screen. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Okay. So, I hope you like my commentary because I'm about to do it all over again. The viewport is a huge determining factor of the RNG in this run, both for the geoscape and the battlescape. That is correct, yes. If the UFOs are heading the wrong way, even though they're on the ground, you know you've built your base on the wrong part of Hawaii. But yes, by doing this specific manipulation, the 2 incept cancels after centering on the first UFO and just pressing start past the next 2, means we get a negative 161 score for January, and delay the terror so that we get a double terror in Feb. And yes, that means we fail the month terribly. Oops, center and fast forward. Fail the month terribly, but we'll pass March, and we'll be off the planet by May, so the points don't matter. 23rd of February, we get a Shanghai terror mission. At 9:47 AM, we center on it, do 3 incept cancels, and that's it for February. 1, 2, 3, fast forward. Once we get negative 2030 for the monthly report, you can do the incept cancels first, but this is a timed event. You need to get to the next checkpoint before the music changes, or gets to a certain point. but I feel comfortable doing this in time. If you want a few extra seconds, you can do the 2 intercept cancels first. We're going to buy all of the armaments that we need for the remainder of the run. All 1 large rocket and 1 stun rod. Lovely. I'll do my 2 intercept cancels now. So the audio cue that we're waiting for, there is a percussion sound effect that happens in this song, in this audio track, followed by a ding-dong, as I call it. The 5th ding-dong is the audio cue that we're waiting for. So you need to be fast enough to get into the equip Sky Ranger screen before. So here's the drum roll and the first ding dong. Once the lab comes in, we equip the Sky Ranger, and sure enough, just the second ding dong. So we're going to wait a little bit, add 1 rifle, take away the AP ammo, and put on the stun rod. So we're going to wait here before returning to the geoscape. Have to wait until the 5th ding dong, otherwise the music won't change. There we go. And now 3 UFOs, 1, 2, and battleship. Let's go. This run does not rely on the base attack at all. You could technically manipulate it, but the battleship is the only mission that has everything required. And one of the restrictions for this challenge is one Earth mission only. The alien base never contains a UFO navigation. Incidentally, the asset which generates a navigation that you retrieve from the UFO is present as the consoles in the command center, but they might be converted into alien alloys or just not captured at all. Anyways, we put the stun rod in the backpack, do an aim shot, and as I said before, the so we turn the trigger scroll on because the viewport for both the battlescape and the geoscape are super important, and with trigger scroll on it means that we can very precisely normalize and manipulate the viewport. I'm going to move Ludmilla into this position for a later turn. So you'll see here with Nick Jones, I move the viewport down 2, which makes this a kill shot with the snapshot every single time. And then we're going to turn right and shoot a guy on the roof. Once again, moving the viewport down 2. It's not always down 2. As you'll see with Frank Pierce coming up next, there's someone else on the roof, but we move left 3. Okay, now we need to manually select after moving to the right place. Manually select the next soldier so that the viewport stays in the right place. Igor is just getting vision so that we can squad sight with Masaharu. One, two, three. Lovely. Also need to move up 1 tile, and we have 2 dudes left. 1, 2, 3. 1 more. There we go. And that is the 7th kill for this turn, which gets us an achievement. And last but not least, Werner, charge forward, prepare yourself for my favourite shots in this run. Okay, move into position, and somehow this shot works. Wall hacks, lovely. Next, we're going to shoot a guy through the window. One, two, three. Yeah, so we're doing retro achievements. There are 3 that are particularly difficult. We're doing all 3 at the same time. Which, I was not supposed to do that. This should still be fine. I think this is one of the ones that you can manually do. But I should have manually selected Isao there. It's the top left tile, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Still good. Nick Jones up 8 tiles. Also Virgil. And we'll move Nick a bit closer. And manually move Virgil a bit closer as well. Okay, there are 2 more Reapers remaining. There's also 1 floater who is huddled up in the building next to us, who Ludmilla will take out next turn. So we'll start with the heavy cannon. 1, 2, 3. Turn left, the viewport left, and 1 more shot to thread the needle. I'm going to move Isao a little bit closer because he's got 1 final shot. Ludmilla, where are you? There you are. Okay, that's the last guy outside the UFO. They will start panicking shortly. Let's equip the stun rod and prepare to storm the battleship. Floaters and their love of buildings, indeed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Except once they go upstairs, they have trouble getting back down again. Alrighties. So the 3 difficult achievements, not impossible, but very difficult, is beating the game on Superhuman with mandatory research only. Beating the game on Veteran or harder with 1 base only in Hawaii. And beating the game on Veteran or harder with 1 mission only. The 1 mission only, I mean, they're all very difficult. But, yeah. If you play it like this, it's not too difficult. Oh, look, the floaters can go down, but they'd have a tendency to float. Okay, just a couple of guys left. I want to make sure I got this minute correct. L1, square left and right. That should do the job. There we go. Okay, that's it for that turn. The leader does have a blaster launcher, but he ain't no problem. 6 south. Rotate 3 to the left. Stun this guy. Just move in front of the leader, make him panic. Select up 4. Left, left. Viewport up. Snapshot. Leader panics, and here we go. Because we finished with the stun, the turn auto ends. Yeah, you should see my notes. There's lots. It looks like the move list for Tekken 3. Granted, I haven't played any newer Tekkens, so maybe they're all like that. But there's a lot of button presses. Okay, let's go to the post battleship screen. Oops. Okay, a couple of achievements. The first thing we do is we buy and sell. So we sell the Inceptors. We never needed them, but now we've got an opportunity to go in here. Money's not super important in this run, since we're waiting quite some time. We need exactly 78 scientists and 44 engineers. We're also going to manip our research. This is a timed event. There's a lot of timed events. Oops. I don't think that'll mess things up. I hope it won't. What's first? Illyrium. So you'll see me crossing my hands in a moment. If you hold start while you start a topic, it rolls a different number. Which we need to do for certain topics. Oops, no research on that. Alien grenade just as a buffer. We need alien alloys, commander, and start manip for navigation with 5 to begin. Okay, so you hear the audio cue again. It's fine. When the scientists come in, we're putting them all on Illyrium. Oh dear. Why is it unknown? That should not be unknown. I think by entering the build facility screen I may have messed up the manip. Oops, and I left the screen too early as well. So yeah, that run is dead. So yeah, if I can actually show this now. So on the research screen, let's just take off a bunch of dudes. You can see the progress on the right hand side. When you start a new research topic, each topic has an average number of scientist days required to complete it. The game rolls for RNG between 50% and 150% of each of the average rolls. So, Illyrium, power source and navigation have an average of 450. All interrogations, except for terrorists, have an average roll of 192. So for the alloys is 400 flat. So for alloys, for example, the roll would be between 200 and 600, but by doing it in a specific way, we can make them all very small and get all our research done so that we can build our Avenger as soon as possible. The progress on the right hand side, you'll see says unknown, but UFO power source says poor. The reason for that is once 67% of the average is remaining on a topic, it starts to tell you what the progress is. And even though it says poor, all that means is if you don't add more scientists, it'll take more time than the rest. But then, yeah, it tells you an estimate of how long there is remaining. Unknown means there's more than 67% of the average remaining for that topic. So when I manipulate all of these research topics, they should all, if I were to assign scientists to all of them, have a progress rating of good or excellent, or terrible, depending on how many scientists are allocated. But as long as we manipulate the role to what we need it to be, we can get all the research done before the 28th of April is the fastest we can do. So, what's that? 32 days? It's actually too fast, because if we research Martian solution before the end of the month, we do get a base defense. But anyways, let's do it again. It's good practice at the very least. I also need to reset my achievements once again. Fun. So if you perfect all roles, then all researchers should be set as in progress. They'll when I start them, Illyrium, because I've only got 10 scientists until the new ones come in. Illyrium and UFO navigation, I'll assign 5 scientists each. I believe UFO navigation is more than 67%. So it's an average of 450, and the role that I have is 275, which is why I assign 5 scientists to them, to the topic. So I don't know what 67% of 450 is. I guess it's 300. Yeah, so they should all... Oh, that's right, it's the commander. The commander has a roll of 131 out of 192. So average of 192, and the roll is 131, which is slightly higher than 2/3. So, yeah, they'll all be not unknown, except for Floater Commander, and Alien Grenade as well. So if you watch carefully, you'll see that it's consistently, it'll say good or excellent once I assign 80 scientists to them. Anyways, the achievements have been reset. I have a written explanation of it from my TAS in 2019 that's published on TAS videos. I think I call it a second chance research role or something. If you hold start while you begin the topic, it just rolls a different number. I don't know why, but I discovered it, and it made the manipulation much easier, because now you have 2 chances to get a low roll rather than literally a dice roll, because there's only a 1 in 6 chance. If it's rolling between 50% and 150%, there's only a 1 in 6 chance it's below 67% of the average. So rather than making it a dice roll, it's now rolling 2 dice, which makes things a bunch easier. Okay, that's all done. Let's start Duck Station up again. So I think it was our very first run of the day that got to Cydonia. Not the correct Cydonia map, but got to Cydonia nonetheless. We've been pretty consistent at getting through the battleship. Somewhat consistent, at least. So, even though it is getting, to 7:12 in the morning, I have high hopes that we'll get a solid run and improve the world record, as well as completing this ridiculous challenge. Let's go. 5 clicks left. Need to build on the far eastern coast. Oops, needs to be a bit higher than that. I use this as my lineup. Far east coast of Hawaii. RA for retro achievements. And fast forward. So the first one comes in, we center on the UFO and intercept cancel twice. So intercept cancelling advances the seed by a predetermined amount. the viewport for both the battlescape and the geoscape is super important in also determining how the RNG happens. So by doing exactly what we have done so far, building the base in that exact one place and responding to the UFOs in a certain way, we delay the January Terror, get a monthly report of -161, then we intercept cancel one more time, yeah, the menuing for the PlayStation version is a little tedious. I think you spend more time on the geoscape in the PlayStation version than any percent on OpenXCom entirely. Yeah, it's always Novosibirsk, in fact. It gets selected during the title screen. Terry in Shanghai, February 23rd, 9:47 AM, 3 intercept cancels. Now we do have a timed event coming up. So -2030 for February. You can do the intercept cancels first, but once you enter the build facilities menu, the music will change. And we have to get into the equip Skyranger screen before the sound cue. We're also going to take the opportunity to buy all of the armament we need for the remainder of the run. We need all one large rocket and all one stun rod. Lovely. 2 intercept cancels. So even though we have to beat the sound cue, we also can't leave back to the geoscape too early. So that's why I do the intercept cancels afterwards. Don't need the extra time. I'm still going to be waiting before we return anyway. So the audio cue, you'll hear on this track there is a drum roll or a percussive portion coming up, followed by a number of ding-dongs, as I call them. So here it comes. That's ding-dong number 1. Ding-dong number 2. And yes, so we have plenty of time. 3. We need to add one rifle, take off the AP ammo, add a stun rod. So we have to wait here for the 5th ding-dong. It's not a drum roll, it's a knock-knock. Who's there? Oh dear, that actually is a problem. I'm supposed to press start on that UFO. Now the battleship, yeah. Yes, once again the viewport is super important. That's what happens if you don't press start and press center on UFO instead. My bad. And unfortunately, I built an alien containment, which is an achievement, which means I have to reset my progress one more time. That was a silly mistake. Okay. If I cared so much about it, I wouldn't be doing this live. But it's more fun doing it live. Let's do it again from the top. So yes, this will be uploaded as an edited video with very specific instructions on how you can follow along. Start shitposting only on the battlescape. Yeah, the geoscape does have timed events, so I can't afford to take my time, unfortunately. I have to speed run Don't have a choice. Let's kick it off. 5 clicks left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Line up with this fictional island and build on the easternmost part of Hawaii. Lovely. Retro achievements for the base name. And fast forward. So, we're going to intercept cancel after centering on the UFO. Intercept cancels advance the RNG by a specific amount. And the viewport is super important for the RNG. No, we're not centering on these. For both the battlescape and the geoscape. More details on that later, but just know that sometimes you press start when you encounter a UFO, sometimes you center on it. Next, because we have done that specific manipulation of the first 3 UFOs, we get a monthly report of -161 and delay the Terra mission of Novosibirsk. One more intercept cancel. Into February 4th, 9:42 AM, when we center on it again, and fast forward. No, the base name does not affect the RNG whatsoever. Technically, for a speedrun, the fastest would be to make a base name of no characters. Yep, next is February 23rd, Terra in Shanghai at 9:47 AM. Center on the Terra site. 3 intercept cancels. And fast forward again. -2030 for the monthly report. 2 intercept cancels. But I'm going to build my facilities first. This is now a timed event. The music changes. And we have to get to the next checkpoint, specifically the Equip Sky Ranger screen, before the audio cue. Otherwise, the RNG gets desynced, which is no bueno. We need to purchase all of our armament for the remainder of the game. We'll take 1 large rocket and 1 stun rod. Lovely. I'll do my 2 intercept cancels now, because even though we need to get to that point at a certain time, we also can't leave before that same audio cue and return to the geoscape. I'm centering and fast forwarding. Remember the viewport after the time triggers? Yeah, that was the first time I've messed that up, to be honest. I blame the shit posters in chat. No, JK lol. So, there's a drum roll coming up in a moment in the audio track. There it is, and there's the first ding dong. Once the 5th ding dong happens, we can return to the geoscape, but we have to enter the Equip Craft screen here before that same audio cue, otherwise it messes things up. We add 1 rifle, take away the 2 AP ammos, add the stun rod, wait for the 5th ding dong, and now fast forward. We ignore the first 2 UFOs, start, and here comes a battleship. Excellent. Let's go to the battleship manip screen. Alrighties. So, as mentioned before, the viewport specifically has a large effect on the RNG. So one of the first things we're going to do after Virgil takes an aimed shot and kills a floater is to enable trigger scroll rather than auto edge scroll. That allows us to normalize exactly where the viewport is. Down, X, left, up. It's supposed to be up left, that's why. Never mind. It's one extra click. So it'll be best demonstrated with Nick Jones in a moment. He's going to get 2 kills, and you'll see that we move the viewport in a very specific way, and that will turn our snapshots into kill shots every single time. One more kill, 2 down, 2 viewports down. It's not always 2 down, so Frank Pierce, his manip is 3 left. Yep, that's correct. We have to manually select the next guy to keep the viewport in the same place. Viewport right 1 and up to the edge of the grass. He's just there to give vision. 1, 2, 3. So that we can squad sight kill with Masaharu. 1, 2, 3 down. And this guy, who we can't actually see, he can only see the Reaper, but he can kill this guy. Who's next? You need to move forward 1 more tile. 1 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. No, 1, thank you. Yeah, if you do move the cursor against the edge of the screen, it does seem to mess things up. So stay away from the edge of the screen at all costs. I say as I move to the edge of the screen, but as long as you don't push up against it, should be fine. Okay, next turn, what's happening? Oh, my favourite shot of the game. Oops. Yep, wall hacks time. Werner Faber with the wonder shot. Oops, there we go. That's the way. Now the window shot. 1, 2, 3. Now Ludmilla gets into position. That's a bit too far. I think it's still fine. Anyways, we need to manually select this guy. The floater will just be hovering upstairs, so I don't think it'll have an effect. I need to shoot the top left corner of this Reaper. Yeah, the game has a tendency to... Oh. What? We actually still might be fine, funnily enough. But I do need to kill that Reaper. And you should be able to move to that tile. Why is he not moving to this tile? Yeah, see, funny things are happening. Yeah, we desynced. I tell you what the desync was. The desync was moving Ludmilla. So when I moved down and went 1 tile too far, I pressed against the edge of the screen here. And as you saw here, like, if I go to Virgil, he should be able to move 8 tiles up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But that's not working. So even though the cursor looks like it's on a big, I mean, for the battleship, 50 by 50 grid, the actual specific cursor, like if I move up now and then come back, now he can move there. No, Masaharu, he did move forward 1 tile. He needs to end up on this square. It doesn't actually matter, because Masaharu doesn't do anything for the rest of the game, really. So it's not super important. The only reason I do that is to stop him from accidentally moving in front of someone else. Actually, also the other reason is because when I'm scrolling through my soldiers in one of the later turns, it makes him part of the roster, because the way that the next turn works. So this button, the way that the next soldier button works in this game is very strange. It doesn't rotate through the roster. It picks kind of the guy who's closest. Yeah, it picks a very strange order to go through them. But yeah, anyways. What does manip and what doesn't? The specific like sub tile you're on. So as long as you're normalized on which like part of the tile that the cursor is on, and the problem is that when you use edge scrolling, also when you press against the edge of the screen like so, it changes the sub tile that you're on. So the whole point of the Battlescape manip is that you stay away from the edge. That's why you'll often see that I move 8 tiles and then come back to them and move them again later on. Anyways, I double pressed with Ludmilla, and that messed everything up. So let's do it again from the top. Yeah, so I've optimized the manip for ease of replication rather than speed. There was one problem situation I had constantly with one of the leaders upstairs holding a blaster launcher, because he's right up against the edge. And I worked on that before I went live today to change that so that I center on him instead, and now it's an easy kill, just like everyone else. But yeah, there's a few spots like Masaharu, his first turn, Ludmilla on turn 2. Yeah, there's a few moments that that are common problems. So you just need to be aware of when there's a potential issue, and to just be careful with not double pressing or not holding down the D-pad for more than like 4 frames or whatever it is. Because yeah, the PlayStation port is a little janky, to say the least, but that's okay. Let's try it again from the top. The other cool thing about this, yeah, it's stored on a CD, PlayStation 1 game. Yeah, I remember I spanned this over a few floppies from my cousin back in the day. The only one that was bigger than 1.4 megabytes was the intro cutscene. I think it was 4 discs it fit on. Okay, let's do it again from the top. 5 clicks left. And build line up with this fictional island, build on the eastern coast of Hawaii, set the retro achievements for the speedruns, and fast forward. Okay, so the first thing we do is Jan 6, UFO 1, center on UFO, and intercept cancel twice. The viewport is super important. Had to be 2 at most, raw static size with extended disk formats. I remember it being more than that, but that's okay. In this day and age, that'll still fit in a email attachment. It's not like a few megabytes is a big deal. But yeah, not the PlayStation ROM. That's a little bit bigger. So the viewport is super important for RNG manipulation in this game. You'll see -161. Intercept cancel advances the seed by a predetermined amount. So now we have Novosibirsk, Terra Mission, Feb 4, center, and fast forward. So intercept cancel advances a certain amount, and the viewport for both the geoscape and the battlescape also heavily influences RNG. So the next Terra mission, Shanghai on Feb 23 at 9:47 AM. And that's the one. We center on it, do 3 intercept cancels, and fast forward. We'll get a score of -2030 for February, upon which we build our facilities, and the music will change once we enter a submenu. This is now a timed segment. We need to build and purchase our armament and wait for the lab to complete so that we can enter the Equip Skyranger screen before we hear a certain sound cue. So buy 1 large rocket, 1 stun rod. You can do the 2 intercept cancels before the base management, but there's plenty of time. Yes, so there is, we'll call it a knock-knock. Yes. A little percussion part of the track, followed by 5 ding-dongs. You'll know it when you hear it. The 5th ding-dong is when the music changes if you're returning to the geoscape or entering a submenu. So once the alien containment's complete, we can hover over bases. So that's the percussion part. This is the 2nd ding-dong now. So we have plenty of time. Equip crafts. Need to add 1 rifle. Take off the heavy cannon AP ammo. Add the stun rod as well. Now we have to wait here for the 5th ding-dong. I think that might be the 6th one, but it doesn't matter too much, as long as you wait for the 5th one. Start, and here comes a battleship. Everything's going to plan. Don't mind. Yeah, there we go. Don't mind the achievement hassling us. So, the battleship manipulation. One of the first things we do is, in order to normalize our input, specifically the viewport. Yeah, I think we went on the 6th one, but it doesn't matter as long as you wait for the 5th one. Don't return to the geoscape, because otherwise the music doesn't change. And audio track changing is an RNG call in this game, as is most things. So we equip and take an an aim shot rather. And the important thing is to turn on trigger scroll so that we can normalize our inputs. Up, left. There we go. I did it right this time. Gonna move Ludmilla into position for a later turn. Next is Nick Jones. Now you're going to see the viewport manipulation in full effect. We move the viewport down 2 and the snapshot becomes a kill shot every time. 2 down again. It's not always 2 down, it just happens to be coincidence for Nick, because Frank comes up next, shoots the next guy on the roof with viewport 3 to the left. And that will also be a kill shot. And a headshot. Right in the dome. Okay, now next, in order to keep the viewport in the right place, we're going to manually select our next soldier. Move him to the edge of the grass. He's just getting vision for Masaharu, so he can squad sight and kill the floater. Viewport down 3 and snapshot. Excellent. Also move forward 1 tile. Isao. 1, 2, 3, 4. Be careful near the edge of the screen. That's the 7th kill, which is an achievement. And Werner onto the dirt, where he is about to perform the miracle shot. My favourite shot in the run. Wall hacks incoming. No need for a viewport manipulation. Werner's just that good. Okay, next, how much is that floater in the window? He ain't nothing. Okay, Ludmilla, get into position. Manually select. Oh, good thing he didn't move. Isao. And the top left corner of this Reaper. Excellent. And now we move forward Nick Jones. It should still be fine. I'm just going to move through these guys and go back to Nick Jones. Okay, up 8. And then Virgil follows. But he was blocking Virgil's line, so didn't feel comfortable moving him quite yet. Yeah, just so you don't accidentally move. Okay, there we go. That's the tile you should be on. Excellent. Okay, there are 2 more Reapers left and 1 floater in the building. That's it for everyone outside. Then they will start to panic and we're going to take out like 2/3 of the remaining force. But we're not going to breach this turn, just going to get into position. Okay, 2 kills with the heavy cannon. Viewport left to thread the needle on this shot. I'm going to move Isao up a bit closer because he's going to get a double kill next turn. Lyudmila, you're going to shoot the last floater outside the UFO. And now we equip the stun rod and prepare to breach the UFO. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Well, I need to get past turn 3 often to let you memorize stuff, user or miss. Let's go upstairs, get 2 kills. 1, 2, 3. Have to move the viewport down and then move around. We need to stun a soldier. And move upstairs. Werner, I'm going to get to the top floor and kill a leader holding a blaster launcher. Up left with the viewports. Excellent. And now Issao with the double kill. An aimed shot. Okay. That's it for Nick Jones and Issao. It's just Virgil and Werner at this point. Oops, not an aimed shot, please. Not an aimed shot. Glitchy game. Gonna move down here. Select, start, select, and 3 across here. L1 square left, right. Are you looking at my notes? Okay, up against the wall, turn left 3 times, stun the commander, and intimidate the leader. I need to move the viewport up 1 to make this a kill shot. Now the leader will panic. And that's all she wrote. Because we stunned the last guy, we don't need to end the turn. It happens automatically. Okay. Now the post-battlescape manipulation. This one has a number of timed events. Let's try and do it correctly. A lot of achievements. Lovely. So the first thing we do is sell our interceptors, which we have not needed whatsoever. Then we're going to hire 78 scientists and 44 engineers. We're also going to start our research now to manipulate specific values. So you'll see me crossing hands in a moment. Need 5 on Illyrium. And so when I press start here, or hold start, while I begin the project, it changes the values to something also predetermined. But it gives us more opportunity to manipulate stuff, so we take advantage of that. That's it. Okay, there's the knock knock. I need, oh dear, I think I'm pressing start on this. Just want to make sure. I have to wait anyway. Yes, press start on this one. So the staff arrive and we research Illyrium. So we have to wait for the 5th ding dong anyway before we return to the geoscape, so it doesn't change anything. And fast forward. Okay, end of the month. Excellent, very good. Research complete soon. So this is another timed event. Basically all the research is now one big timed event. I'm ignoring that. Get off, please. Okay. Only 80 was necessary for the navigation, but putting the extra ones on doesn't make a difference. Alloys, we do specifically need exactly 76 because we're putting the other 12 on the floater soldier in order to get the research done in one day. And now, we're not actually going to research the alien grenade. We have some buffers included in order to manipulate the values to exactly what we need. We're going to do it again now. So laser weapons, motion scanner, and medikit. Then the start manip for alien origins. Blaster launcher as a buffer, and UFO construction with the start manip. Which we need 84 scientists. No, that's fine. Then new fighter craft, we have 4 buffers. So the audio cue for this next one is a little bit different. Basically, if you hear a loud, obnoxious noise, it means you're too slow. We're going to intentionally change the music by reading the screen for Alien Origins when it pops. New fighter craft, there's no buffer, just a start manip. And minimum of 86 scientists. Then 2 buffers for ultimate craft with a start manip. Need 80 minimum. Okay, so when Ultimate Craft pops, we build that and we do some funny things. You'll see the numbers are very specific because we want things to research to complete at the same time. So 42 for Alien Origins and 33 for Leader. So you can hear this song is about to finish. Oops, 33 is important. 33 is important. Need to build the Avenger. So yeah, you'll know if we're too slow because you'll hear a loud, obnoxious... the beginning of the new song, basically. So I need to press start when this one comes up. So first the Terra mission. Okay, the music didn't change, or rather it didn't become obnoxious, so we're good. I believe I press OK here. Yeah, good. Martian research, Martian solution rather, there's no manip for that, just 51. 42 is the answer to the Martian solution, or to Alien Origins rather. Next, the Commander. 27 exactly, so that they both finish on the day we need. There is an Incept cancel coming up. Oops, I need one more. There we go. Cydonia or bust. That is... just press the wrong button. 23 exactly. Good. Incept cancel. Do we have to equip the Avenger before the 5th Ding Dong? Makes me a little nervous. I think we do. Yeah, we should be fine. It's not... Oh dear, that messed things up. Why? Because, yeah, the music will change now. Fuck, so close. Because if the Terra mission doesn't come in a few hours, that's the wrong place. It should be Rome. Gotta wait till midday for the Avenger to... Oh well, we're going for it, but... Yeah, I'm pretty sure... What's my... Yeah, no, I have to get into the Avenger equip screen before the BGM prompt. Yeah, rats. Well, we can still get lucky with this Sidonia 1, but it's not looking very likely. If we get through Sidonia 1, I'm pretty sure Sidonia 2 is, like, guaranteed. Yeah, so Virgil gets automatically equipped with the stun rod, with the rocket launcher. That ain't looking good. That's a pretty bad Sidonia. Technically, we could just... It's not against the rules to be save scumming at this part of the run. It's not even... I have no idea where the pyramid is. It's ages away, so this run is super dead. I'll try to, like, run and hide with Virgil, but this ain't gonna work. Superhuman, he does have 95 psi strength, but he ain't the superhuman we're looking for. I'm gonna try and cover him. Oh, Nick Jones has 64 to use. Didn't even know that. Okay, block the shot. Yep. Everyone else in the starting squad has less than 50 psi strength. Let Virgil live. He is the savior of the human race. He shouldn't be panicking though. But sectoid commanders have higher psi strength than ethereal leaders, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, bye bye. Also glitches. Oh well. Have to resign our fate to our new alien overlords. Okay, I'm going to try it again. Let me just have a quick look at my notes. Also, user miss, if you're curious, I'll... I just want to make sure it's all right. Yeah. Yeah, that's the notes that I'm using, by the way. But yeah, so in May, Or is it? So yeah, it's as soon as the each time segment happens immediately after the previous one, because it's all about not letting the music change at an unpredictable time. So yeah, everything between the April 26 research complete of Alien Origins and the entering the Avenger equip screen needs to also be before the 5th ding dong. But yeah, I can see from my notes, by writing wait for BGM prompt, it means that I'm occasionally too fast, so I'll particularly slow that time. I think I was taking my time trying to make sure that the research was correct, which is entirely on me. Anyways, let's do it again from the top. I need to reset my achievements. We're gonna get there. Oh, sorry, I just noticed your message now. Errands to run. Yes. Enjoy. Well, there'll be a edited video coming out in the next few days once I get this to the level I'm expecting. It's more important to demonstrate the manip than it is to achieve the any % world record. Especially because you can just research Blaster Launcher and finish the final side-only mission in one turn, saving about 2 minutes, 3 minutes. But, yeah. Let's do it again from the top. So, cleared all of the achievements, or rather, reset all the achievements. We should get 17 in the one run, many of which are considered the most difficult for retro achievements. Yeah, I hope this is the run Amiga runs. How you doing, Demma? It's good to see you. Welcome on in. I am the toppest. I have faith in myself. Let's take it again from the top. Okay, 5 clicks to the left. Line up with this hybrid island and the east coast of Hawaii. I think I'm one too small? No, we're right. Retro achievements as the base name so that we can put our time on the leaderboard and fast forward. We are going to intercept cancel when the first UFO comes in after centering on it. 2 intercept cancels, I believe. Need to check my notes, but I'm pretty sure it's 2. Yep. And just press start to ignore the next 2 UFOs. So, 2 important things. First of all, the intercept cancels advance the RNG seed by a very specific amount. If you've built your base in the wrong place, the UFOs will be oriented differently. You can just reset straight away, but it should be on the eastmost coast of Hawaii. The viewport... yes, that's correct. The viewport in both the geoscape and the battlescape is super important to controlling the RNG. That's why we center on this terror site. And why we just press start to ignore certain other encounters. It'll be more obvious on the battlescape how important the viewport is. But we've manipulated a double February Terror. Next one is in Shanghai on the 23rd. There's my Shanghai Terror mission. 3 Incept cancels, and on we go. Good. So this is a timed segment now. Once we enter the Build Facilities menu, the music changes. So you can do the 2 Incept cancels before all of this base management, if you're nervous about doing it in the time required. We're also going to take the opportunity to purchase all of our weapons for the rest of the game. 1 large rocket and 1 stun rod. Don't forget your intercept cancels if you did it after the base management. And yes, so the audio trigger prompt that we're listening out for, you'll hear in this particular audio track there's a percussive part, a knock knock if you will, followed by 5 ding dongs. So there's the knock knock and there's the first ding dong. As long as you enter the Equip Sky Ranger screen before the 5th one begins, 5th ding dong that is. So got 2 ding dongs to spare, plenty of time. You should be fine. Need to add 1 rifle, take away 2 HCAPs, and add the stun rod. You also can't return to the geoscape before the 5th ding dong, so we'll wait. There we go. Now the music will change. And the 3rd UFO, 1, 2, here comes the battleship, 3. Excellent. Okay, so now you'll see the importance of the viewport in terms of manipulating RNG. So after we equip the stun rod to Virgil's backpack and give him 1 aimed shot to kill a floater, it's very important that we enable trigger scroll in order to normalize our viewport manipulation, rather than pushing against the edge of the screen, which messes things up very regularly. So here comes the aimed shot. And straight into the game options. Oops, one down. There we go. So Nick Jones, who is the next to move after Lyudmila, will get a double kill this turn. And you'll notice that, oops, after we move her in the right position, you'll notice that I move the viewport down 2 clicks, and that turns this snapshot into a kill shot every time. Then we rotate right, another 2 down, and another kill shot. It's not always 2 down. You'll see with Frank now it's 3 clicks left. Is this particular floater's secret weakness. Let's move Frank out of the way, and we need to manually select Igor to keep the viewport exactly where we want it. He's just moving out to get vision on the floater. 1, 2, 3. So that we can squad sight kill with Masaharu. 1, 2, 3 down. Also move forward a tile. One across. Gonna kill the Reaper now. Nothing to fear. The bottom right tile of this particular Reaper. And then Verna is going to get into position to do something really cool. So we got the achievement for killing 7 aliens in 1 turn on Veteran. Yeah, they never stood a chance against the Viewport Manip strats, or the entire run Manip. They messed with the wrong Earth. Okay, here comes Verna with his miracle shot. Wall hacks incoming. Fantastic. Okay, now we shoot the floater in the window. Three clicks left. Lyudmila needs to move into position for the next kill. Then we manually select Isao to kill the Reaper. This particular shot is the bottom left, top left corner, excuse me. And then we move Nick Jones up 8 tiles, followed by Virgil Gallagher up 8 tiles, and just a little bit closer for both of them. Manually select Virgil to get him closer as well. Okay, good turn. One Reaper will poke his head out, and we're gonna put him in the ground. Put both of them, the Reapers, in the ground. They are the last Reapers for this map. There is one other alien outside who Lyudmila will take care of. 1, 2, 3. Hey, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Kuston, is that correct? Welcome on in. Hello, Raiders. Hope you had a lovely stream. What were you playing today? Okay, move this out a little bit closer. Igor's now useless. Lyudmila is who we're looking for. Kill the guy upstairs. This is the last guy outside the UFO. Now, hey Ipiti, how you doing? This is the PlayStation port of XCOM, UFO Defense. Select. Move to this position here. We're heavily manipulating the game. It's not quite a speed run, even though a successful run will be the world record. But if it's a speed run, why is animation setting so slow? This is the fastest that goes. It doesn't get much better than this on PlayStation. At least it's not Amiga. It could be worse. Just remember that. It could be worse. But the advantage of the PlayStation version is that you can... Oops. That should be fine. Is that you can do this and get 100% accuracy if you know what you're doing. Yeah, this is more of a challenge run that also happens to be a speed run. Please don't move, thank you. So the challenges for this, the main challenges, are 1 mission only. Yeah, I think it might be faster than 10 speed faster. The PlayStation version is not particularly fast, to say the least. But once again, still faster than Amiga. Yes, so we are doing one mission only, which is the floater battleship we're currently on. Mandatory research only, so no lasers, no plasmas, and so on. Also no tanks. And finally, one base only in Hawaii. But we've labbed out literally everything. We know if everything goes correct, we're not going to get any surprises. Surprises are very bad in this run. Oops. There we go. And now the leader will panic. Excellent. And the turn automatically ends because we stunned the last guy on the map. Okay, what's up next? The post-battleship manip. There are a number of timed segments here. Okay, have a good sleep. Thanks for hanging out, Kuston. Thanks for the raid. Okay, so the first thing we do is we sell our Inceptors. We never needed them, but we don't need them anymore. Purchasing 78 scientists and 44 engineers. And we're also going to manip our research while we're on the screen. DI didn't change to the right page, but it's fine. You'll see me doing some weird things with my hands. If you hold start while you begin a project, you get a different RNG value. I know what it's going to be. Oops, 0. But I need it to be very specific values in order for the whole manip to work. Navigation, also a start manip, and 5 scientists. This is a pretty easy yeah, we usually need to wait here because we enter the research menu pretty damn quickly. Chuck them all on Illyrium. Wait for the 5th ding-dong before we return to the geoscape. So we've got plenty of time. One more ding-dong. Okay, and now the music will change, and we fast forward. Okay, power sources next. We need all 83. So this is a time segment, but we should be fine. You'll know if we're slow if you hear, it's like the interceptor music or something very loud. But that's not for another couple of minutes, so we should be fine. We need exactly 76 scientists for alien alloys, so that we can also put 12 on Floater Soldier, which will allow us to research. Yep, Cairo Terra, not April 3rd, but, or was it already? Yes, we already passed it, didn't we? Yes, this Floater Soldier will be immediately researched because of the research rollover bug. And now we do some more manips. So, 3 buffers. Just research anything that's not important. We need alien origins with a start manip. one more buffer, and UFO construction with the start manip. We'll put 84 onto UFO construction. Yes, it already passed, but I wasn't paying attention. Terra missions are more of an inconvenience for me in this run. Okay, need 4 buffers here. Oops, 4 buffers here. And fighter craft, no start manip. 82 scientists. Next, new fighter transporter, no buffers, yes start manip. $86 scientists. Yes, they are. They're great for normalizing. That is true. Next, 2 buffers and ultimate craft with the start manip. $80 scientists for the ultimate craft. It's very close to a minimum roll, in fact, for the ultimate craft. And next, we need to do Alien Origins and Floater Leader. So 42 is the answer for the Origins, and 33 for the Floater Leader. We also need to remember to build the Avenger. And the song is about to end, so we need to force the song, the next song, by pressing start after the large UFO, sorry, the Terra mission. Okay, and force the next song to begin. Martian solution, no manip whatsoever. 51 and 27 on the commander. Now this one is a bit of a tighter time segment to get to. I'm going to intercept cancel once on May 1st. And Sidonia Bust is a start manip with no buffer. I need 23 exactly. Intercept cancel. And I need to get ready to go into the base for the equip Avenger. So yeah, this one's a little tighter. You can hear the drum roll coming up in a moment. The 19th is when stuff happens. Yeah, so you had plenty of time this time. Equip craft. You take the 3 top soldiers. 1, 2, 3. And a large rocket. Have to wait this time for the 5th ding dong. That might be the 6th one, but whatever, it'll do. Then fast forward. Yes, fast forward. Center. Oops, I need to go 1 minute. Intercept cancel on 11:59 if I can get it. Perfect. Okay, and we should be set at this point. World record incoming. Rome is good. So I did change the Sidonia 1 manip earlier today, or I guess, last night now. But it's only a few commands. We don't have to equip anything since Virgil automatically starts with the large rockets. Select up to X. Select 2. Now Virgil should be safe here. Left and X. Then up to... He'll get shot at, but he'll be fine. And the final mission. Longer than on the 386. That doesn't surprise me. The loading times are excruciating. But it's a disk-based system, and DuckStation is a very faithful emulator. As far as the loading times being very similar to the original hardware. Is that the top of the screen? It is too. So when I was testing this out earlier on today, I found that if I didn't bring Nick Jones, even though he does literally nothing, if I didn't bring Nick Jones, I got eaten by a silicoid. Very consistently. So I don't know what he does, what his purpose is, but he's influencing things from Cydonia 1. Okay. Let's move up 1 with the viewport, stand on this tile, rotate left, and enter. We're going to do some sneaking. Yeah, shouts to Nick Jones, the OG. The man with 2 double kills and silicoid manipulation. Okay, next up, down a floor and run around a corner. Take my word for it, he's being chased in hot pursuit by an ethereal with a blaster launcher and a chrysalid. But we haven't got time to look at that. We're just gonna run... 2, 3, hide behind this explosive thing. I mean, that shows how much of a boomer I am. Is the Jonas brother actually named Nick Jonas? That would be funny. I had never made the connection. Probably for the best. Okay, next up, run around the corner and hide here. Be very quiet, the ethereal will patrol in front of us. Yep, go away. So in this large storage area is at least one of every single unit on this map. There are chrysalids, sectopods, silicoids, ethereals, and there's even a celitid up right next to where I'm running to. But it doesn't matter, because Virgil is a champion. One of the Jonas brothers is indeed named Nick. Well, there you go. Well, I won't forget that now. Thanks for the thanks for the information. Oh no! Stay right there. It's too scary. If you move out too early, he gets eaten by a chrysalid. So Stay there for one more turn. Thank you, Captain Useless Information. I appreciate you. Okay. Let's hide behind this glass jar. No, it's okay. And he should be safe here because Nick Jonas is influencing things from afar. Hey, Quad Bitbrain, how you doing? Remember playing PS1 version having to play unintentional? Iron Man, because the tactical saves take up to 5 minutes sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I basically have never used... I mean, I didn't have a memory card. Oh, watch out for this guy. He's a bit dangerous. By that I mean, doesn't have eyes in the back of his head. So we're fine. Yeah, I mean... This game with the mouse, with the PS1 mouse, is tolerable. The manipulation makes the game fun, but I would not recommend it for casual play. There are... I mean, apart from Amiga, anything is a better option. So DOS, OpenXCOM specifically, it's a fantastic option. And we're about to finish. Large rockets. Nope, can't shoot me. Even if you did, we'd still win the turn. And time. That is a new world record. 28 minutes and 3 seconds. Smashing the old record by about 2.5 minutes. We did it. Excellent. And if I'm not mistaken, I didn't lose synchronization once in that entire run. So, I mean, I didn't need to demonstrate any contingency plans, but that is the run we were looking for. Lost sub 28 to wanting to leave the corner too early, yes. There are improvements available. But most importantly, Virgil, as bold as he wants to be, this is on superhuman difficulty. So the manip would not be significantly different to do this on beginner difficulty instead. Just basically the battleship manipulation. And by that I mean that everything is in the same place, just half of the aliens are removed and have less armor. So finding a manipulation for the battleship will be relatively easy for beginner. And then on top of that, you can also research blaster launcher and blaster bomb and bring a hover tank and beat the final mission in one turn by just weaving a missile from the other side of the map, since you always spawn in the same place and it's always the same map, even without the manipulation. Yes, they return. They survive. They leave with coveralls and they come back with power suit armor. Yeah, the pace I think was pretty solid as well. Thank you for the GGs, Jadlers and Saria and Amiga runs. Thanks for the Yarg, user is. Hello, Fat Man on Bike. Thank you for the GG. Welcome on in. Yeah, I mean, this session today was purely about getting a good run to make an edited video to demonstrate the manip. So I think I'll be done with this challenge run. But obviously, since this is a 2.5 minute world record for any percent, despite the ridiculous restrictions, I will be, at some point in the near future, finding a beginner manipulation to do basically the same thing and save an additional like 5 minutes. I spoke with the other moderator on SRC, and I said that there is a chance that with perfect execution, this run could eventually be sub 20. I think that's pushing it a little bit without finding a February floater base build in Hawaii, or alternatively finding a normalized way to find a floater base build in some other region. But saving the 28 days or 31 days of in-game Well, once again, this run specifically on Superhuman, definitely not sub 20. But if with the blaster launcher, with like bringing the hover tank launcher to the final mission, you can consistently beat it in one turn because the aliens spawn in the same place every time. That'd be tough with controller menuing alone. Well, it'd be harder with the mouse because the mouse doesn't have normalization. Just proves that PC gaming was the mature stuff. Well, the one-way mission to Sidonia. Sub 6 RCR novice is impossible. Exactly. Yeah. Don't give me a challenge because that just intensifies my resolve. Just want to prove people wrong. I am a contrarian of the modern era. But yeah, so the blaster launcher research, because there's plenty of time. We only assigned 23 scientists to Sidonia or bust, purely because it manipulates Sidonia better. But we can put 3 times as many scientists on and have time for the blaster launcher and blaster bomb. Like, more than enough time. So the time restriction isn't an issue. You don't even need to build the tank specifically. As a matter of fact, you wouldn't necessarily even need to research blaster bomb. If you just research blaster launcher and kill the ethereal that approaches you on turn 1, pick up his blaster launcher on turn 2, like, at that point, it's not worth the time save since you can research both at the same time. But the point is that you can save at least 2.5-3 minutes with just blaster launcher research, and then the amount of time you'd save from loading, like, to load all the aliens onto the battleship map, plus cleaning them up in a few turns. It's possible it could be sub 20. But it would need to be very clean. But in either case, there's still plenty of time to be saved. Fascinating things happening in the PS XCOM world. Many people are live streaming their retro achievements. So, yeah, I would encourage you, if you like the game and you're not already following the XCOM category on Twitch, yes, very much recommend. You can find a lot of gems, a lot of really smart people playing the game in interesting ways. Menuing seemed quite good in this run, as evidenced by having time to spare for the audio cues. Yeah, I know that it can be tricky if you don't memorize the rules in advance, but I basically don't look at the post-battleship sheet in my documentation. I just look at the research sheet. And even then, like, I'm only referring to it to see how many buffers I need and whether to hold start. The number of scientists I put on for each task, because I know what the researcher role is. Like, it's 162, I think. I can double check that. 162 for Alien Origins. 166, excuse me. Which is why you need 42 scientists to complete it in 3 days, because you get the 1 free day of research. So, if you remember 42, because of the 160 and change, and then the corresponding 33 that you add for the leader with the Alien Origins, and similarly with the commander. Just memorize 51 for Martian Solution, and 27 for the commander. Everything else is basically put on the maximum, apart from Sidonia or bust, and I guess alien alloys with the soldier. But yeah, it is basically put on all of them, and you rarely go wrong. If you're interrogating and researching at the same time, that's when you need to fine tune it to make sure that they finish at the same time. Need to memorize buffer numbers and start manips. Yes, but the amount of... That's one of the good things for the speed run, right? Not for casual play. Is that because there's so much time between pressing a button and getting a response from the game, you can just have a second window open and scroll through the sheets, and you won't lose too much time. With the timed segment, it's a little bit different, but once again, there's only apart from the initial manipulation, and when you're doing both interrogation and research at the same time, you can just put on all 88 scientists and you won't go wrong. The only reason I stopped at 80 for UFO navigation and stopped at 82 for new fighter craft is just because it saves half a second rather than going all the way up to 88. And once again, it's mainly as a demonstration that just because you have 88 scientists doesn't mean that it's, you know, the research won't finish any quicker to put those extra 2, 4, 6, 8 scientists on. The only real reason that we need 88 scientists is because Illyrium and UFO Power Source both require 83, and UFO Navigation would require an extra day if we didn't assign 5 from March 27. Apart from that, there's no other time you need to put all 88 scientists on. But I mean, I'm getting a bit too in depth now with the explanation of the route. The point is that if you follow the sheets, especially if you use save states for the post battleship, just to practice it so that you can do it in one run, then if you're trying to achieve this for is navigation the lowest roll possible? No, it's the lowest roll possible would be 225. The RNG roll is 275, but the reason why I started the manip on the March 27th before the scientists come. No, well, it's between 225 and 675, and it rolls for 275. So it's still, what's that? 25 of 450. Roughly the 96th percentile of good rolls. No, sorry, it's 50, isn't it? 50 plus. So 1/9. It's the 89th percentile of like good rolls. But because it's not necessarily the order that you research things, but the ships flying around in the background undetected influence the RNG. So if you finish research on a different day, all the numbers get messed up. If I'd switch order, no, because Illyrium, UFO Power Source, and UFO Navigation are all 450 average, if you pick any of them, you could interchange them, and it would have the same RNG roll. So the way the RNG works specifically for the research, it must be some sort of like I'm not sure what you call it, like a hash key. So it rolls the number and then figures out the remainder. So modulo 450, and then yeah. So the range between 50 and 150% would be equivalent to the average, the 100%. So if the random number is, you know, I mean, it's a 16-bit system, so it will be some huge number, modulo 450, and then add that plus 50% of the average roll, is my guess of how it works, but effectively the result is the same. But yeah, if I was to buffer before UFO navigation to get a lower roll, it means I'd have fewer buffers for the later research topics, and like because I'd have to redo the entire manip for everything else. So the fact that it's only 275, and I mean assigning 5 to it on March 27th doesn't really cost that much time, because once again you have to wait for the BGM prompt when returning to the research screen on March 29th when the scientists arrive. So taking the extra time to put the 5 scientists on UFO navigation and to go through and do all that, you'd be spending that time otherwise literally just waiting for 30 seconds staring at the main base screen so that you wouldn't get thrown off by unintended music change. So it's a convenient way. Once again, it's not necessarily optimized for speed, but it's optimized for replication. So if you were to do this again yourself, you have like a 10-15 second buffer to do the inputs correctly, but at the same time, if you're so fast, you do have to wait at the end, which, you know, you could squeeze more things in. Like, for example, with equipping the Sky Ranger, you could technically unequip the pistols and the excess rifle clips, and that would move the stun rod further to the left. But instead, you press right 3 times to select the stun rod on the ground to put it into Virgil Gallica's backpack. I mean, that would save 3 right presses, but it means that you'd have to be super fast to get all that done in the equipped Sky Ranger screen, when most people probably would be just going straight to the geoscape as it is because of, you know, lack of practice from it. What's the music change triggers about? Is it music manip or is it just a timer? I'm not sure exactly how it works, but I assume that I assume it's a timer, basically. So when an elapsed time of a track has played, and you either enter a certain screen or leave a certain screen, it randomly rolls for a different track. If you were to leave it, I mean, I can try and demonstrate it here. It'll take too long. So, actually, I can fast forward. I can press tab to. Oh. Let's not do that. So if I just enter Superhuman, just for whatever. Will it work on this screen? It will. So if I just fast forward, you'll hear it'll go through literally every track. So this is one, like Geoscape 1. Still Geoscape 1. But if you leave it on the geoscape without touching anything, it literally goes through every track. So like the Final Assault track, the Victory track, like everything. I might just turn it up so I can hear it properly. How did I discover that you can manipulate the music? Well, that was one of the problems with when I did the manip. When I attempted to find the manip back in 2019. I did try that, Trubla. It's a great question. I found that it still did the same thing. It just mutes it. At least my basic testing, because there is a sound options in the main menu. Like from the start screen. I found that the manip, if I'm not mistaken, still worked, and the ROM still kind of like stuttered when it was trying to decide the next track, regardless of whether the music was actually playing or not. Deleting the tracks? That I don't know the answer to. I assume it would. Oh, I'm not sure. Had not considered that. But for that reason, actually, I'm still going to fast forward. Yeah, some of these tracks go for quite some time. I'm wondering if I actually have to place a bass for the tracks to advance. Yes, and it actually got me thinking as well, user miss, is that for that reason, I mean, no, if muting the track, if muting the audio did make it faster, I think it would be a reasonable, like, speed hack to implement. But yes, scratching up the CD so the other tracks don't work. I'm going to build a bass because this is annoying me. This should do the job. But yeah, I agree. I'm familiar with, I can't remember which games, but I know that there are at least some games where they discovered that turning off the audio in-game sped it up somehow. I'm trying to remember which game it was, but like, I want to say it was featured by Abersoft or someone similar. Okay, I'm committed now. I feel like it's the same tracks playing over and over again, but it certainly does change. Okay, well, it's gone to the next track at least. Ah, here we go. Yeah, it goes through literally every track. Eventually. This is this the bass defense music? No, bass assault music, maybe. And this is the returning from Battlescape music. There may be... trying to think what starter arguments is. Probably a typo, but I can't think of what it is. Could switch audio off in a different way and those would also be okay. Do you mean like ways to glitch the music to stop it? Oh yeah, like parameters when executing it. Well, arguments, parameters. Yeah, that's true. Although I haven't found a similar problem with, like, the problem with DOS is that you're using a mouse, so there's no normalization of inputs. To my knowledge, there is no manip possible in any other version of the game. I did actually reach out to the OpenXCom Discord and asked if they had a what do you call it? How their RNG seed. No, the only thing the keyboard is used for is typing in names. I don't think even escape works. I think it's literally just the like ASCII keys and enter and backspace, maybe delete and. Do the arrow keys work? I'm pretty sure the arrow keys don't work. Do they? For DOS? I'm pretty sure the arrow keys don't work for DOS to move the viewport. It's been too long since I played it, but I'm fairly certain. Yeah, and this is the intercept track now. It goes through all of them and cycles back. So the point is that even though this right now is cycling through them, at least to my knowledge, in order. If I were to press start and go into the bases and a quick craft, for example, it would pick randomly from the 4 geoscape tracks, like geoscape 1 through 4, and that RNG call messes up the seed. But yeah, as it stands, like, there are 4 time segments in my manip, plus I'm not sure how tight the Avenger takeoff is. Like, the window to press intercept to get 11:59 so that it takes off literally the minute that the Avenger fuels. And this is one of the problems. I couldn't find a way to manipulate the Rome Terrasite. I would ideally like it to land at exactly midday so that the Avenger was fueled, because the problem is that when research gets completed, it stays on 1 day speed, which means that I was thinking of a number of different ways of doing it, like manufacturing something separate, like a single alloy to finish 6 hours after the Avenger finished, or building a facility, but the facilities are all either 16, 18 or 26 days, I think 25 for the large radar, so it doesn't work for the 19 days for the Avenger. And when I found the Rome Terrasite landed at 11:30, it's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna say that set speed to 1 minute and press intercept at 11:59 will have to do the job. I have at least taken off at 12:01 instead of 1200, and that still gets the same Sidonia. I don't know at what point that changes. So it's at least like a 20 frame window, like a third of a second. So you shouldn't have a problem to replicate that part of it, but that's the only real, like, quote unquote frame perfect input. The rest of it is just like inputting a sequence in a fairly liberal amount of time. DOS has no keyboard inputs, yeah. I was pretty sure about that, but thank you for checking, I appreciate that. I'm using a new computer right now, so I don't actually have Steam installed. I wouldn't be able to check it on this computer. Yeah, I mean, the DOS version is an interesting speedrun as well. Like, the main 3 categories are interesting in their own way, right? Sorry, Amiga runs, if you're still here. But the Amiga category, I haven't played it yet because I don't see any value to it, except for purely for nostalgia for people who grew up with the Amiga. But the don't have Steam installed when you can download standalone installs from GOG. I mean, I wouldn't have that installed either. This computer is like a week old. I've installed stuff for work, like, you know, VS Code and Firefox, and, you know, just OBS Studio purely for this stream, plus DuckStation. That's basically it. So it's basically a fresh install. Yeah, I've got the other computer set up in the other room, but I mean, that's all the way over there. Too lazy for that. I'm enjoying sitting down right now and just staring at my 2803 and, you know, enjoying basking in the 9 AM sunlight. So yeah, I'll be finishing up soon, just like I said, decompressing and relaxing a little bit. So the Open XCOM in the missed sub 28, she'll be fine. I'm content with it's a sub 30. It's the first ever sub 30. So the fact that it's almost a sub 28, I mean, at what point would you stop? You'd never be content with anything. I think so too, Saria. Thank you.